All right, hello, welcome to Tabletop CP After Dark, and this week we're doing a paint and chat. And I apologize. I sent out this paint and chat for 7:30 this morning on accident. It was supposed to be 7:30 tonight, but we just got this new live streaming software, and I'm still learning it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to work on some Matildas. I have a couple of these Matildas that I painted. I'm just going to do some dry brushing on them. It's kind of hard to do a lot of painting while there's chats going on and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a couple guests, a couple patrons that are brave enough to join me for this live stream test of the new software. So we're going to have Ryan Horton and Greg Padilla joining us. I don't know if they're going to be painting or not, but if they are, they'll tell us what they're painting. And so let's do some chatting. I'm just kind of checking stuff out here, making sure everything's working. So this should be streaming to YouTube right now, I hope. Okay, we got one. So we do have a comment here, SPD. So things are coming in properly from YouTube, it looks like. And yeah, okay, so let's bring in, okay, Greg said something. Jessica's here. Hello. Chad Murray's here too. Good evening from the chilly north. Okay, so so again, this is kind of a test of the software. So let's bring in our two guests. So we got Ryan Horton. Hello. There he is. Hello, Ryan. Nice to see you. I've never seen you before.
Yeah, we haven't actually gotten our faces out on camera on any of our battle reports yet. So okay. First time.
Which channel is yours?
Little Roadie Wargaming.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. So there's Ryan, and let's bring Greg in here. So Padilla, everyone knows Padilla. He's been all over the channel forever, from Wild West to Spectre. It's also the guy that sends me tons of vehicles. So yeah, Greg's here. Welcome, Greg.
Glad to be here, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, and Ryan's literally a last-minute entrance into the live stream, but it seemed to work fine. I sent him the link, and it popped right up, so worked perfectly. So yeah, so let's see what who's here. So Chris is here. Hello from Ohio, and Sean Palmer says hi. Okay, tell Sean we said hi as well. Sean's an old friend, bolt action friend. It's a guy that turned me on to Spectre originally back in the day as well. He moved to Ohio from California, so we were sad to see him go. Jessica said, "Hey, Greg." She knows who you are.
Yes.
Old School's here. Okay, so anyway, so I got some pictures that I pulled off of the Facebook group as well that will show. I asked for some work that people were doing that they might want shown on the live stream, and we got quite a few entrances, so we'll show those a little bit later. Johnny's here as well. So everyone knows Johnny. He plays with me here in the Nerd Cave quite a bit. Yeah. So what have you guys been up to? What are you working on right now, Ryan?
Right now, I'm actually in the middle of building some British Commandos from the new Inter-Allied Commando box from Warlord.
Yeah, it's a nice box. I got a set of those sent to me by a painter to use, and they look pretty good. I haven't seen the sprues. I just saw them come in all assembled, but they look like they have a lot of variety and a lot of ways to customize them pose-wise.
Got I think a few full sprues still sitting right here. They're pretty good detail that you would normally expect from Warlord. And a lot of different options.
Yeah, I noticed you would send a picture of some Star Wars stuff as well.
Yeah, that's a little side project that I think Will from our channel, The American Player, pulled us all into.
Okay, so have you played any games yet?
We haven't yet. We're still trying to paint everything up first.
Okay, I know Johnny had got some Star Wars stuff. He wasn't super impressed with the rules. I think he said they look kind of clunky just with the amount of counters and cards and everything. But the models are obviously super cool. So
Yeah, it's all I think proprietary, like their own dice and some of their own counters. So that's a little strange,
measuring sticks.
But I think it's a living rule set, so it's all available. I think they're all available online, which is something that I really enjoyed. You don't have to lug around a bunch of different rule books and constant FAQs.
Yeah, that's good. Got to turn on my logo here. There we go.
What was the rules called again? The Star Wars rules?
It's Star Wars Legion.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I seen that played a few times at our local gaming store, and Travis knows I'm just not a fan of all the markers and all the cards and all the chaos, which I think just for me just distracts from the game itself when you constantly looking. I noticed that from like the Star Wars X-Wing. Used to play that with my boys, and when that game system started advancing, there was more cards, more tokens, and more things, and it was like, oh boy, this is insane. I could see how that could be a deterrent. So
yeah, I like you don't even like the amount of card or stuff that's on the table with Dead Man's Hand even.
No.
And that's only some cards, yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much tokens and stuff that go with it. It's just some playing cards. So yeah, it does look a bit cluttered when you get games that are full of stuff like that, especially those proprietary ones where they're they want to make it their own. So they have custom dice, they have custom rulers, measuring devices, custom cards, and everything that go with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
we still got to get you going on the Ruthless game from Little Wars TV.
Yeah, I do want to do that. I still want to play that, and we should do it. We should get that going here soon.
Yeah,
I got a interview with Greg coming up, I think Monday. I guess they're doing a series on campaigns. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's on their Patreon or where it's coming out at, but I'm supposed to talk to him. We're going to talk about the 29 Let's Go campaign for Chain of Command.
Yeah,
because he's asking me, what campaign have you played, that you would like to talk about a little bit more in detail. And we played 29 Let's Go twice, and we had a good time with it both times. So that's the one that we have the most experience with. So he sent me some questions and to answer about them for the interview. So that should be interesting. But I have no idea where it's going to be released at.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, as far as those Star Wars figures from Legion, you could use those in a lot of third-party, I guess you call it third-party rule sets like Stargrave. One of the guys in our local area here, we did a Stargrave game, and he showed up with his Legion guys. Now they're a little bit bigger, but who cares? Than your standard 28 millimeter. But yeah, it works fine. Just got to match your soldier to what's in the books and have at it. I don't think anybody's come up with anything like force stuff. I know there's some sort of sword thing in there, like a laser sword or something, but you can use those figures for almost for anything.
Well, there's also a Chain of Command Star Wars mod out there.
Yeah.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
That could be fun.
If you had enough guys, it would take a lot of guys because, a German platoon or an American platoon, I guess the Germans would probably obviously be the Empire, right?
Yeah.
So
sure. Yeah.
Some of these platoons could get pretty big, so you would need a lot of stormtroopers. So Johnny said Marvel Crisis Protocol has cards and tokens as well, but definitely a lot less than Legion. Yeah.
So
it does.
I was also told that there was I think a Dead Man's Hand mod called Dead Mando's Hand that used some of the Star Wars figures, especially I think the new Mandalorian one is either out already or is supposed to be coming out.
I haven't heard of that, but yeah, I could see it. It'd be just individual guys, but it'd be probably not stormtroopers. It'd be more the bounty hunter characters probably, and Jedi, stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. You would need a lot less figures as well. So let's see here what the chat says. So Chris S says, got my Soviet assault engineer flamethrower team done and added to my squad. Why Warlord does not have it added to the Why Warlord does not have it added to their 10-man metal set is beyond me. The flamethrower? Are you talking about that? I know that there is the flamethrower in that 10-man engineer squad. There's supposed to be. If there wasn't, then you got the wrong set, or you got shorted. So Oliver Miller says, hey, everyone. Let's see here. Chris S says, like that Little Wars has done a segment on the GWA site about Rick Tobin and the Red Baron on their Wings of Glory. Okay, yeah, Little Wars is great. They do a lot of cool stuff. Oh, and look, Wallace is here. The Monkey Man. I just got a Barbarossa game with 9,000 counters. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, if you're doing hex and counter games, yeah, a few tokens isn't gonna phase you at all. But it's just mini gamers, yeah. It can get a little cluttered on the board for sure. So, yeah. So, what else are you guys working on? I know Greg's been doing Italian stuff.
Yeah, I got so they got these combo sets. They're kind of old school. I know it's probably showing up backwards because of my camera, but you get these sets and it's a combo of a aircraft and a vehicle. And it's all 1/48 scale. And that's the Italian version. There's a German version. It's like a light bomber with the big German pickup truck. What's that? The 5-ton?
The Opel Blitz.
Yeah, the Opel Blitz. Yeah, you get one of those with that set. But I've been having these. I bought these sets. I bought 2 sets several years ago. Our local model builders club, they have these swap meets, and they haven't had one, well, obviously, of COVID for the last 2 years, so I've been keeping my eye out for that. But that's where I get a lot of really inexpensive model kits, even if I have to crash them or burn them or whatever for gaming. But these come out pretty good. This one here, you can probably see that has a funky, weird green pattern.
The Auto Blinda.
Yeah. This is for the Basilearies. I still got to put markings on it.
Is that the one with the rubber tires?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really old school.
And here's another one, another Italian markup version. This is going to be for the Polizia. I figured, I try to always do the oddball camo schemes that are out there instead of the standard everything's desert yellow or German gray or whatever. If there's some crazy scheme color out there, I'm going to build that kit or make a model of it of some sort. But yeah, tonight I'm just putting on some decals, and oddly enough, these kits are quite old, at least 20-something years old, and the decals are holding up okay so far.
I've got some of those. I got some of those off eBay, I think. I forgot which. I think the Vesp, that German self-propelled howitzer.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of those off eBay, and it was like probably from the 1960s.
Oh boy!
It had the rubber tracks. You had to like burn them to seal them around the, the drive wheels and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, this is ancient. Even the box was like crumbling, but I mean, the model itself is really nice.
Well, there's even some current Tamiya models. I'm a big Tamiya fan because they have a good selection of 148 for World War II, and they call those rubber band tracks. That's the name in the hobby world. But I learned from Andy's Hobbies, from the mediocre modeler here. That's the shirt I'm wearing. I learned so much hobby stuff. I thought I knew how to build models and paint and airbrush, but nah. I learned a lot from him, and one trick I learned from him about those rubber band tracks is to, when you get ready to put them together, obviously try to put the little holes, put the nipples in the holes together, and then staple it. Get a stapler, staple it on the tracks.
I think I wound up searching YouTube because I couldn't get them, because you're supposed to burn that little nub that comes up.
Yeah.
and that is supposed to seal them, but it wouldn't. But I think I did. I got on YouTube and I wound up finding something like that, and the guy said, just staple it.
Yeah. Best bet.
Yep.
Works like a
Yeah.
champ.
Yep. I did that.
Yeah.
A lot easier than trying to burn the damn thing because it's.
Well, I've melted some of those rubber tracks before, and I was like, oh god, here we go.
Well, yes, it's like, how do you? That little nub is so small. You got to get something red hot, like I don't know, like a paper clip or something, and then just put it on there and let it flatten out.
Yeah, you could use some pretty fat tweezers.
Yeah.
You heat it up with the lighter, and then you just. But I mean, you got to be like, you have to have everything together, and it goes so quick because that whatever you heat up on that metal is going to cool down really fast. So
yeah, oh yeah, it's got to be. I mean, you got to be like right next to it when it's red hot, and have it on there immediately. Otherwise, it's not hot enough to do it.
So just putting decals on this. Once I get done with this here in a little bit, give them a clear coat, let that set, and then gonna weather the hell out of these things. So
yeah, I'm gonna do that with these Matildas too. I kind of, I don't know. I guess I'm happy with the way that this camo came out. It's, let me see here. It's like I just used masking tape on it.
Yeah.
And I spray painted it green and then put some masking tape over it where I wanted it to stay green, and just sprayed it with that desert camo.
Yeah.
Over the top of it. So it's super easy, but I think I need to put some like dark green triangles kind of inside these lighter green triangles.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do that with a brush, just because I don't want to. It might be difficult to go over it. I'd have to block all the other colors off at this point to use the spray can for it. So I'm just going to use a brush on it.
Yeah.
It took me a few tries to get that contour scheme on the Matilda right, because there's so many little bits on it. It's difficult to get the masking tape around, even using I think I have some of the Tamiya
Yeah, that's good
modeling tape. I think it took me 3 tries to finally get the scheme I wanted right.
Yeah.
And you used it for Matilda?
Yep. Yeah, it's on the Warlord Matilda, the little resin brick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those are kind of known for having that scheme, but yeah, and I wish I did those little church Vickers Mark VI tanks that Greg sent before I decided to try that. But I think those are supposed to have that Cantor camo as well.
Yeah,
but I think it's too late for that now for those.
Yeah, there's a mix of camo schemes. I mean, you've gone to that website, which is like the all-inclusive for me, is the Tanks Encyclopedia website, which gives you a really good insight if you want to know the history about those vehicles, let alone some camo schemes. And that's where I get with all the crazy camo schemes. But yeah, you can add to that.
Yeah. So Ryan, did you do the blue Cantor?
Actually, I think I have I bought one of the Vallejo.
They even have their own. That's really cool.
Yeah, and on the back, it's got kind of a guide of some of the things that you can do. So I think I picked this up on Amazon for maybe about $10, $12 and just followed the instructions on it. I think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, because I know I've seen a lot of the blue pictures of them, like a really bright blue. The actual tanks they have in the museums, they're a super bright blue. And it's like, okay, that's a little excessive. And then I was reading a little bit more about it, and someone said that's just kind of that's the museum's idea to do that.
Yeah, make it a little bit brighter.
Yeah, really more of a green color, I guess, than that bright blue. So let's see here. So Stotzenberg's here. Hello, Stotzenberg. He said, just use blue. You're not going to have the tracks going around anyway. Yeah. But it's a different kind of rubber, though. Like, it's not you can't just use that rubber or that plastic glue that you use on minis. It was like a soft rubber. So maybe super glue might work.
Nah, not really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it'll
cable
hold
works the
initially.
best.
Yeah, it'll hold initially. I the problem here is living in the hell of Arizona with 90 plus degrees 10 months out of the year is all my stuff is kept out in the garage, and I don't hit the AC until we're out there playing. But so it has to survive the constant heat or the weather changes. And there's times where we're going to play a game and I pull something out and all of a sudden, ping, there's, whatever I had glued before is not glued anymore. So I had to get very creative and like I said, using the staple. And
Right.
sometimes with those rubber tracks, I end up just making a base for it. Because sometimes they just kind of lag. I mean, you could put super glue in there to hold them in the wheel, the road wheels. But I just make a little base for it, and I could make a mini dio with ground covering and weeds or tank running over a trooper or something. But
Space Marine standing on an alien.
yeah, there you go, perfect, perfect. But yeah, you could do that too. I mean, just to get past the track. And I don't see. Yeah, I mean, unless you want to take the next step to go beyond our hobby and go buy aftermarket tracks, which are stupid
Yeah, no.
expensive. Yeah, that's not worth it.
Just
So
use what it comes in the box. That's perfectly
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So let's see here. So Chris said I just use a flat blade screwdriver heated up to melt the tab. You have to melt it and flatten it at the same time. Yeah. So that's why the thing's got to be really hot. Whatever it is you're using, it's got to be hot. So let's see here. Chris said I got my Schwinn wagon Rubicon done today for my German bolt action. I didn't have a light four-wheel transport for them. So now it's 17 German vehicles I am up to for them. All right. Well, that's a good start. You're getting there. Yeah, I just got some Rubicon stuff today that I ordered from Chad. Um, Chad Murray, he's one of our patrons as well. He's been selling all kinds of stuff for super cheap with free shipping. And it's like, okay, I just got the Soviet Winter Army starter box from him. So that's on the agenda for who knows whenever that's going to happen. But I got some Rubicon kits from him. I'm excited to try them out. I hear a lot of good things about them. I've never put one together myself, so I'm hoping it's pretty easy. Everyone
Yeah,
says they're nice kits.
yeah. I call Rubicon to me a light.
Is it that detailed?
Yeah, there's some pretty good details in there. You're gonna get anywhere from 2 to 4 sprues depending what type of model you get. They are easy to put together, but yeah, the detail is definitely worth the value. And
Yeah. Maya kits are very well. I mean, they're not gaming because gaming pieces are. I'm thinking more like Warlord models where the track's like 3 pieces. You get a Tamaya kit, it's the track's more. It's more parts in the track than a whole Warlord kit,
yeah,
but they're also very fiddly. So
yeah, I built about almost everything Tamiya has to put out. I'm putting decals together. Sorry if I'm not looking up at the camera. Um, I probably built almost everything Tamiya had to put out in 1/48 scale, including some Bandai models. And no, you're right. They're not. They say, and I don't know where they got this from, but some of their model kits have that that metal. It's not really metal, die-cast metal hulls. They'll have like
mhm.
you know, to give it some heft, which is pretty
Yep,
cool.
I got
Um,
a few of those.
yeah,
They're
those
really
are
cool.
pretty cool, and that helps with that. But if you have to deal with um, the rubber tracks, my best bet on that is to just put it on a base, so you don't have to
Yeah,
worry about them falling apart or whatever. Um, but yeah, there's a couple things you can do because you know, you got grown men playing with model toys on the table all the time here, and when you break
some
out
are going to
those
break.
those 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 tanks, it's funny because everybody knows now when they come over and they'll look at me and go, "Hey, Greg, does the turn?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it turns." Does the barrel go up and down? Yeah. Oh no, that one doesn't. For some reason. So
Yeah,
it's just one of those things. Plus all the little antennas. Say for example,
yeah. Those things break off like crazy. I don't even put them
yes.
on most
So
of the time
these
anymore.
So these things, those are for the driver to help guide him so he doesn't run into anything.
The
But you could
mirrors?
use what's that?
Are they mirrors?
No, they're just little. I don't know. I call them diddly bops. I'm not too sure the technical name. I'm sure someone knows better than I do. But I don't even put those on. I get some really thin brass wire, drill a little hole, glue it, and then I put like some Malmer's glue at the very tip, let it dry, and that gives you the little ball, and then you're fine. Uh, and if they bend, they bend, and it looks like it's definitely got beaten up, but you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about stuff snapping off. I don't put antennas. Luckily for this Italian vehicle, that has this antenna right here. That's gonna be kind of fidgety. I'll be kind of concerned about that on the game table right here.
Yeah.
So what I'll probably do is stack a bunch of stowage underneath it. So yeah, so we're far from this being ready. I have a bunch of stowage I bought from hell, what's that company? He's actually here in Arizona. He does a lot of stowage stuff. He'll come to me here in a few minutes. But that's how you hide a lot of those mistakes. That's a hobby. That's a hobbyist
Yeah.
solution is hide
Hobby hack.
mistakes. There you go. Hobby hack. Just
Yeah.
throw stowage on there. Throw freaking netting. Like on some of your tanks or whatever, you could even put a bunch of that stuff. I know some of the 3D printing. I mean, there's comments out there. I've seen that, and that's just the nature of 3D printing. You're going to get the layered lines. There's no way around it other than if you do resin, But but I've done some sanding. I applied some filler to sand off some of the parts to kind of rid of some of those harsh lines. But throw some stowage, throw a tarp over it, or something.
Slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like Corey's joined us. Hello, Corey. Let's see here. Someone said something about those things. To let the driver know when the fender end was against an obstacle. That's what the little diddly bops are for. Have you ever,
Yeah.
hey Ryan, have you ever put together a
One of
Rubicon?
the Rubicons.
Yeah.
I've bought a few, but I have not yet gotten the chance to put any of them together. Checked out the sprues; they're great detail, and yeah, like Greg said, it's usually about 4 sprues. You'll get a separate sprue for the crew. But just wanted to add with the antennas. I don't think I have one on hand that I can grab, but using the G string from a bass guitar works pretty well for antennas. It's got a lot of flex to it. It's not going to break, and it's about the right thickness.
Okay. Well, that's a good hobby hack.
And so they're incredibly cheap, and you get a huge spool of them.
Okay, that's a good idea. I was using well, for like man packed RTO radio antennas, I was using the bristle from like a broom. And they're pretty stiff, and if you drill a little hole, they'll never come out. So that works pretty well. I've read that somewhere, but so someone said something a little concerning to me. It said Rubicon, you have to use super glue or ABS cement, not thin type like Citadel. My first BA10 was a disaster. So you're talking about just traditional plastic glue? Because that's what I use for the same. Are you talking about the same glue that you use for like putting together Warlord minis? Okay, not that stuff. Okay.
This stuff works on the Rubicon.
So is that ABS cement?
What this?
Yeah.
No, that's a Tamiya extra thin.
It does say cement on it.
Yeah, it's Tamiya. It's for plastic models.
Okay, because I got the I forgot what brand, Model Master it's called. I think it's it's plastic cement, so it it fuses the pieces together, melts them together essentially, so they never come apart. I really like that stuff.
Yeah, someone else has chimed in there. Yeah, the Tamiya thin. That's what I have. I have like 3 bottles here.
Chad, yeah, Tamiya thin.
It's either that or super glue. So, and super glue is typically for resin or lead.
And Stotzenberg says he used the high E off a guitar and rubber cement. Okay. And yes, the Tamiya is good. All right. Well, I do have 3 of those kits I need to put together, so I'll try it with my glue that I have now. I'm using on the Warlord stuff, but if it doesn't work, then I'll order some of the Tamiya cement stuff.
Yeah, the Tamiya extra thin is going to give you a faster dry time. So if you get the green bottle, that's the kind that I just showed you. That's going to work pretty good as you're putting those together.
Cool.
That's what
All right. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
you use for
So,
your plastic soldiers, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So Chris said I have cats, so I have endless supply of radio antennas. Yes, I've heard that as well. Cat whiskers for radio antennas
Oh
or any
boy.
kind of antenna are good because they're pretty tough. They're flexible. They're strong, and they're laying all over the place. So yeah, so let's see. He says MIG ammo thin as well works. Okay, that's not. Yeah, I mean it's something I didn't even consider. I'm so used to just using that same bottle of plastic glue that I use for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bottle of that Citadel glue, so I'll avoid that when I put together the Rubicon kits.
Yeah, I don't want to use super glue. I mean, I hate using super glue for models. It's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Your fingers are getting all stuck together and it's just horrible. So yeah, I'm going to stay away from super glue. I mean, that's what I used when I first started doing the hobby. I didn't know about any other type of glue. Super glue. And
Oh my.
I put together like 2 or 3 40K armies with super glue.
Jesus.
And they were fine but I mean, you could just grab an arm and just
pop right off.
It off, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I hated that more than anything. So I switched over to that plastic glue, and it's like, I mean, it literally melts the pieces together, so they'll never come off.
Yeah.
Which could be a bad thing too.
I've got to be careful with the super glue up here in New England. Because if you put your army in your car because you're going to be, say, going to a game after work in the winter and it drops below freezing, suddenly all the arms just start popping right off.
Oh yeah. Like you get to the store, it's like, oh man, he's got a pile of arms.
Yep.
Which arm goes with which guy? Oh yeah, that's it. And I got that winter Soviet army from Chad, and I was looking at those, and I built my summer Soviet army a long time ago, and they're like the old Warlord kits where you have to put the arms on and then put the weapon in the hands, and it's, I've only built the newer stuff for years with the weapons already built onto the arms, and that's just so much easier. So I'm looking at these sprues, the little sprues that have all the different weapons on it. I'm like, oh man, that's right. I got to glue each weapon into each hand. It's a nightmare. I mean, supposedly it's a little bit more flexible. You can make some more poses, but I think I'd rather have less poses and easier to put together. So let's see here. So Jordan says Rubicon kits actually repel Warlord glue. Yeah. It's proprietary. It's a proprietary chemical reaction or something.
That's funny. Yeah.
So yeah, but so anyway, what else we got in the chat here? What are you guys working on Well, you know what? Now would be a good time to look at some of the pictures that we have and test this out. So let's go to graphics. And so these are in no certain order. I put the names on them, but then when I imported them, they all got mixed up. So I know Ryan's got a couple in here, but they're not next to each other. So we'll just start up here with Ryan's first one here. Let me see.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sorry. I'm asking questions here. I'm on mute myself. So is this an NCO or some type of leader?
So believe that's out of the specialist's kit. It's supposed to be a phase 2 clone commander, so it can be used as like one of the force leaders, or I think one of the, you can use it as an extra add-on if you have, say, one of the named ones.
Okay, yeah, super cool.
So, yeah, I was a huge fan of the Clone Wars series and loved the paint job they used in the last season for Battle of Mandalore. So I decided that'd be a fun project, even if I just painted them and never actually used them.
Yeah, build the whole clone chain of command platoon. Be pretty awesome. So let's see here. Next up, we have. So I was trying to show these without having anyone underneath. Again, this is an experiment, so it's kind of hard to. I guess it'll just have to be over the top. But people send pictures in different formats, so if everyone could send a picture in a format that filled up the whole screen, that would be great. Maybe one
picky.
day.
Well, that's a good selection right there. Love that.
Yeah, so there's Robert's.
Freaking Hellcat. Freaking Chafee.
Greyhound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those look pretty cool. I like that little tank destroyer yellow thing on the front there. That was that a Hellcat in the front on the far right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. So yeah, that's Robert's stuff.
I think I only used one of those in a game. I forgot what Pint Science campaign has the Hellcats in it.
It's not Bloody Bucket. I know that. I have all the stuff for Bloody Bucket, and it's not in that. So it might be for. What's the other one?
Well, you figure anything 44 on is going to be what, 29? Let's go.
Yeah, and then there's an Oak something, or what's it called? Not Bloody Bucket. It's hell, I don't remember. Anyway, so let's move on here. So next up, we got Jessica's pumpkin she sent.
That's a big one.
That's yeah. So I told her it's a 2-to-1 scale, twice the size of regular pumpkin. So yeah, it's got its own wheelbarrow, all painted up and everything. And then a chicken there.
Pretty vicious on the tabletop.
Oh yeah. We've had chicken attacks on the tabletop in sharp practice before, and in Pulp Alley can have some pretty vicious chickens as well. And so they're always features on the tabletop. This one here is just kind of very impressed with the pumpkin. So moving on here, we got Jordan's Piat team. I believe these guys are Canadians, so super awesome. I think he used the was it you, Ryan, who told me about using the prone arms for poses like that?
Yeah, the 8th Army prone Bren gun and the arms that go with it will work pretty good for supported positions.
Yeah, and I did that. I used that somewhere. So after you told me that those Indian pattern carriers that Greg sent me, I was able to use the some of the guys standing up and with the prone arms and have them manning that panel mounted Bren on the side of the carrier.
Yeah, I've seen them done on the Universals.
Fits like perfectly too. So that was a great. So yeah, it looks like, I think Jordan he probably just modified it himself.
You know, it's
custom stuff like that.
You know, it's another good arm pose is out of those plastic sets is the guy. It's a British set, and I have a bunch of parries, and I'm sure it's in the Warlord. It's the guy shooting the boy's anti-tank gun. So there's an arm holding the rifle. So you could put as a driver who's sitting in the Bren carrier who has that boy's rifle sticking out the front, or even on the Indian pattern carrier as well. That's a perfect pose because it's perfectly straight. If you put that on a driver, he's shooting it right out the gun port.
Yeah, I had I didn't have enough guys. I put a driver into the Indian powder carrier. So I like chopped the guy off at the waist, and I had to cut that steering wheel that was printed in there back a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I butchered 2 guys. I mean, I had to cut them literally in half, and then to fit them in there, and then just glue a head on. So there, it will have a driver. Each one will have a driver and the pinhole gunner, but the other seat where the weapon goes through, the Bren or the boys, is just going to be empty. It'll just be the weapon sticking through.
Yeah. If you ever watch anything Lardy Rich when he does these scratch building things on his blog, he's butchering body pieces with wire and filling
Yeah,
them in with green stuff. And I was like, holy shit! Okay, I'm definitely behind the power curve here.
yeah, I would never do that. I'm too scared to do that. I don't want to. I don't want to ruin something and be like, oh man. But I mean, if you never do it, you're never going to
Yeah.
learn, or it's never going to happen. But so I mean, at some point, you're going to have to ruin some models to get in there. So let's see here. So Wallace said I made a huge RC T-34 out of a Lego. Okay, one Lego. Okay, let's see here. So I like the Spectre miniatures game. I collect 54 millimeter toy soldiers. Will they work with Spectre? Yeah, if you have a big enough board. Anything will work with anything if you have enough space for it. I mean, I've seen people playing Sharp Practice and like 54 mil before.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So, okay, let's go back to the pictures here. So what do we got next? Oops, hold on here. Let me get rid of that. There we go. So Tanker M18, he just sent us some work in progress. Looks like a ton of Shermans, all assembly line style, ready to go.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then Chad sent in these. I think he said these were for Conflict 47. I think, are they mutants of some type? Armed mutants.
Cultists.
They got like submachine guns and grenades.
Are those the German zombies?
I don't think so, because in that game, the German zombies don't have any weapons. They're just, these guys are armed with.
They got the potato masher grenade there.
Looks like MP40 of some type.
Yeah.
I don't know if Chad's still with us or not, but yeah, so those are really cool. What we got here? Aaron Zimmerman sent this in. It's a King Tiger in German gray. So that's different. You don't see those very often. But it looks pretty cool. I love the commander sticking out. I always love the commander models.
Yeah, I always recommend if you got a kit that you could pop a hatch open and throw a guy sticking out of it, do it. It adds more to it, I think. And even for what a tanker. At one point we were talking about magnetizing the tank commander. Are you buttoned up or not?
That actually would be really cool.
Yeah.
That would be really awesome. But yeah, tank command, the guys sticking out are awesome for, if you have a tank platoon like in Chain of Command, you're playing in some kind of tank war game. It's a super easy way to identify who the leader tank is.
Yeah.
So I'll usually always do one guy sticking out in one of the tanks if I can.
Night demons. Chad said that's a night demon.
Night demon. Is that what he said?
Yeah, that might be a special unit. That's pretty cool.
Oh, wait, is that a new unit? Because I know that the only ones that I knocked something was they had wings or something, I thought. These must be maybe it's a new unit. I don't know. I was kind of bummed. I mean, I like the Conflict 47. I like the idea of it and the different reaction rules and stuff that they have. But my problem with it is it came out at the same time that version 2 bolt action came out. And it used bolt action version 1 rules. And it's like, man, I can't keep both. I can't keep version 1 and 2 in my head at the same time. No way in hell. Let's see here. So, oh yeah, we were here at. So Gary Wood sent in a picture of his Kuba wagon.
Yeah.
So base, it's got its own base, which I don't ever do that with vehicles, but I've seen it done quite a bit. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, that's what I talk about. If you have a model where the wheels are just funky or the tracks are funky,
Yeah,
especially going to be manhandling it on the table, throw it on a base. Then you can add
yeah,
some extra dioramic stuff to it.
yeah. So Alex, Storm of Steel, another one of our patrons here, he sent this in, which I really love these. So these are his shabby Nazi tricks, pretty much. He's got his nuns, he's got his refugees here. I've never used those two shabby Nazi tricks in a game because I don't have them. I don't have a nuns with guns or refugees or whatever, but he's got some really nice looking ones here. So these would be really fun to do.
That Warlord set's really nice.
Does Warlord have armed nuns?
Yeah. They're
Oh,
walking around with the habit, and they got like a machine gun coming out with boots. Yeah, you definitely got to get that set. We've used nuns with guns. Well, Slat has.
I'll
He
have to
likes
find
to.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look on eBay and see if I can find it.
There you go.
I don't know if I'll be doing
And plus, you can use that for Pulp Alley too.
yeah, there's lots of uses for them. Another picture Alex sent. So he started the 29 Let's Go campaign. I was reading on his group. He had a hard time as the Germans on mission 1 there, which for us, every time we played that, the Americans just have a hell of a time because it's a probe mission, right? That first mission in 29 Let's Go.
Yeah.
And they got to go long ways. I mean, they got all the tanks and everything, but at the same time, the Germans got those 88s off board. They got Panzer Schreck, a bunch of Panzer Fausts. So they got a great position along that hedge line. If the defensive player plays it right and the dice go his way, it could be very difficult because you could just, you could save up if you can keep waiting until you get some chain of command dice to ambush with Panzer Faust, Panzer Schreck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we always had a hard time with that one as the attacker, even though it seems like you wouldn't because you got so much firepower. But
yeah,
I mean, if the German player puts himself out there, then yeah, it could get bad. But
you definitely gotta know how to play armor in Chain of Command, because Chain of Command is strictly an infantry game, right? We all know that. Adding armor is like a nice cherry on the top for flavoring. And if you don't know how to maneuver those things, and that's what's very tempting about this pint-sized campaign is, oh, you're the Americans, I have to deploy at least one Sherman, if not 2 or 3, and to give you enough points to do that. It could if you don't know what you're doing, man, you're gonna get blasted by those Panzerfausts, and that's game. Because all the morale checks. Yeah, but you have to know how to play those. And yeah, you see too many games, or you hear too many games where tanks are just cruising out in the open. Well, that's you're gonna get waxed. So
especially against the late war Germans.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's almost like they need infantry support.
Yeah,
exactly.
They definitely need infantry to go ahead and root them out. Especially the Americans. Send your scout teams out, force the Germans to pop out, and then light them up. Yeah, it's
the one thing I've always liked about Chain of Command was, was it one of the taglines that the Lardies use? You play the period.
Right. So the period, not the rules.
Yeah, so American armor it's not going to hold up well to other tanks or anti-armor, but it wasn't designed to.
Right.
It was purely an infantry tank.
Yeah.
It needs to be supported by infantry.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and it plays like that in the game too, especially in the late war against. I mean, the Panzer Schreck is what, like AP 13 or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
range. It's
mean. Insane. Even against a Churchill, I think I was very lucky to bounce a few rounds from a Panzer Schreck.
Yeah, and the Churchills have really great armor. So let's see here.
Yeah, if you
Another one of Ryan's. These are his commandos here, right?
Yeah, there's that Bren one that you were mentioning.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I like that. So I sold that idea for my Indian guys on the Brens and the carriers.
That's pretty cool using that rock. That is awesome.
With the bipod on it. Is that a real rock or is that a piece of foam?
Yeah, I think I found 3 different size bags of slate on Amazon. So I think I ended up with like almost 10, 15 pounds worth of just slate rocks for maybe $12.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I did something similar with that. I copied from somebody else. I don't know who, but several years ago, when getting all into chain of command, someone had a German MG42 mounted on top of a dead cow. I was like, that's badass. and it just so happens Warlord sells those dead livestock. I said, oh yeah, this guy's getting tore up. So I put him on a base with the LMG team. So
I got some of those. I got those dead. They're too small though. The scale is too small on those.
Yeah.
The metal dead livestock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Next up, so Johnny's he's painted up some Marvel stuff here. I really like the black uniforms. They look really good with the black's a hard color to paint and highlight without overdoing it. But I think he did a great job on the level of highlighting on these.
The texture looks like it's rubber. You can almost see like if it's a rubber suit of some sort.
Yeah.
Those guys are wearing.
Yep. And I forgot who he said these guys were. I'm not big on comic. I don't really know a lot about comic books, but.
Well, it looks like Fury is the guy on the left, and then reading the text in the back.
Oh.
Fire team of Shield.
Shield operatives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's Johnny's stuff there. And then Michael Perkins sent a picture of a game action shot here. He said him and Sean were playing this. So it's a lot of armor. See Bren carriers, armored cars. What is that? Stuart, Puma, dead half track. So yeah, that's a close quarters combat there for sure. For a game of bolt action, it's right in their face. That's awesome. And got a few left here. So another one of our patrons here, Joshua Morris, he sent these. So these are the epic, Warlord, the small scale stuff.
Nice.
12 mil or 15 or whatever the hell it is. So that's super awesome there. Yeah, he's kind of the guy I'm talking to him when I do he's going to help me kind of pick out when I move on to a new scale, which I plan on doing after I finish this Indian army. This is Johnny and I were talking the other day. It's like, man, how many 28 mil armies do I really need? I got like 20 of them already. I want to try something different. So I'll be getting in touch with him again when it's time. Actually, I have another one. That Winter Soviet Army is brand new, sitting there ready to be painted already.
You can always have more armies.
That's the last one, I promise. Last 28 for a while. In World War II, at least.
Yeah.
So
I sent you those Perry Prussians, didn't I?
Yeah, I think I have some. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same as those guys that you showed that was up there before. Those are the Prussian Landwehr.
Oh, but different scale. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So here's another picture. I think these are the same thing, right? 15 mil, but cavalry. And yeah, to me, the mass cavalry all painted up nicely like this is probably the coolest sight on the tabletop. And maybe that's partly because I know how hard it is to paint cavalry.
Yeah.
And then I got this one. I could not find who sent it. It wasn't showing me all the posts. And I saved this one before I wrote down who did it. So sorry I wasn't able to put your name on this one, whoever sent this, but they look awesome. A platoon of Tigers, and there you go. There's your tank commander, or Panthers, I should say. and your one guy is your tank commander,
There you go.
which is perfect. Makes it easier for a sniper or something to take them out, right?
There you go.
So, yeah, so that's most of the ones I got. Like I said, when I was going through Facebook trying to get pictures off, it wouldn't let me look at all the comments. It was sorting them, and it wouldn't let me unsort them, and so some of them got lost in the shuffle, and as well as the guy's name who sent me this. So yeah. So anyway, this is like I said, this is a test for our thing. What I would like to do in the future is maybe have a theme for something like this. Maybe once a month, do something Facebook or a live stream like this, paint and chat, or maybe a topic like chain of command. Let's talk about, I don't know, tank rules in chain of command, tank and anti-tank rules in chain of command. How does it work? What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? We could easily talk for an hour just about that.
Oh yeah, I know I could.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, once a month or something, get a few people on and pick a topic and just go with it. Take questions maybe from the group or on Facebook or from YouTube. Have some interaction with the audience as well. So that's kind of my idea behind getting this software. I'm also thinking about doing our regular game live streams on this software as well, because I'm using the same software that I use to stream the games, the live stream games on this program. So it'd be easy to do. I don't know if that'll help my camera at all, but I'm telling you, which is huge. 2 millimeter. Yeah. 2 millimeter. Come on. I don't know. That's too small, man. No way, Wallace.
It's just little colored dots at that point.
Yeah, exactly. They make them out of MDF. They're just strips, and you just dot the hat, dot the face.
Yeah.
Put some grass on it.
What new game system is it that uses that really, really small scale? I think it's another one from the Lardies or the other publishing company that they carry. Well, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, the Strength and Honor, the ancients or Romans and stuff. Yep.
Yeah, that's a big no for me. If I'm going to do Grand Tactical Ancients, I painted up a whole ton of 28 millimeter for Might of Arms. That's an older rule system for Ancients, and that plays just as good. But yeah, those small figures, boy, ugh, no.
Let's see here. What Jessica said, Greg Wood's tank. Was that your favorite tank? Oh, she said Greg Wood sent. He's the one that didn't have the name. Okay, I got you.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. I think it was in a different post, so I kind of got mixed up. But
yeah, for the last week or so, he's been doing like progressive pictures on the Facebook page.
Right. Yeah, he's coming along pretty quick. So yeah, I didn't get a lot of painting done. I think I dry brushed part of one Matilda, but it's always hard to do. It'll be easier with people, I think. When I did the live stream by myself, it was almost impossible to paint and chat.
Yeah, painting and talking at the same time is a little difficult.
Right. Yeah, but I think if we had 2 or 3 extra people, and maybe you could get some painting done while they're talking. I don't know. Or we just don't paint at all. We just talk. It doesn't have to paint anything. So, but yeah, so we're going to probably wrap it up here. Let me know what you guys think. Everyone who came, thanks for coming out, and our 2 guests as well. Super awesome for you guys coming and helping out, test the system.
No problem.
Happy to help.
Yeah, and I'll probably have you guys back on again, and we'll come up with some topics. Maybe in the Patreon, we can come up with some ideas, about topics. Maybe once a month do something like this with the specific topic, and we'll still do the show the pictures of people's stuff as well. But we'll pick a topic and kind of just do a deep dive on it, which I think would be pretty fun to do.
And also send out the size you want the pictures. If you're
Yeah. 16 by 9 would be ideal because that would fill up the whole screen.
Okay.
But I mean, people take pictures, they're not always thinking about the ratio and all that like I do. I think about it all the time, because I know what I have to do with it. But someone else has grabbed their camera. Okay, like Jessica's picture is like skinny and tall.
not everyone's a photographer.
Yeah, I tried to do fit to screen in my editor when I was editing those, and I hit okay, fit to screen, and it just shows like the top of the chicken's head. That was it. So, yeah, but I mean, I could ask. I could recommend a perspective, but I can't expect everyone to do it. So it's fine though. It just shows up. It shows up how it shows up. It's not a big deal. It shows up looking like that. And
hey, I noticed for Jessica mentioned she don't have any arms for her pumpkin. We could go down to the thrift store, go grab a couple old G.I. Joes, pop them suckers off, and stick them on there with a little.
That would be way too small for that pumpkin. You would need like a doll, like a big sized doll, like a baby doll or something.
Get a Chucky doll or something.
Yeah, there you go, with a knife in it. Perfect. So
it would fit with the pumpkin.
Yeah, perfect theme. It fits right in there with that Halloween theme, right?
Yeah.
A great Halloween decoration.
Yep. A pumpkin with an arm with a knife on it. Perfect.
Scare all the kids right off the front steps.
Yeah. Right. Keep them away. That's perfect. Then you don't have to worry about giving them any candy. Just keep it all yourself, right? Cool. All right, guys. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up here. Again, thanks to Ryan and Greg for coming out and all the people that came by to say hi and all the people that shared their pictures with us as well. We really appreciate it. And we'll come up with a theme or a topic for the next time we do this within the next month. And I'll ask these two guys to come back, or we'll get another one of our patrons, or maybe we'll just ask the people at large. If someone has expertise on one of our topics, maybe I'll reach out to them as well. Or we can get people on from, game writers or whatever, people in the industry to be guests as well. So that's kind of where we're going with this, I think.
We got to get Andre on here.
We get Andre. Yeah.
The infamous Andre.
I thought about it, but he's kind of computer illiterate, so I guess I could. I mean, he does play video games on his computer, so all he needs is a webcam and a microphone, and he could sit at home and join us. So yeah, I'll tomorrow when he comes over for the game, I'll ask him, see if he's interested in doing it. He might be.
Yeah, or even if he sends the link to him, maybe he could pull it up on his phone. Then you have everything right there.
Yeah, that's true. But then you got to sit there and hold your phone like for an hour.
Wow.
So, yeah. Well, I'll talk to him tomorrow. I don't know. What game do you guys want to see tomorrow? I'll let you two guys pick since you're here.
Oh, tomorrow. I always enjoy watching Sharp Practice.
I was just thinking the same thing. I love Chain of Command, but I know you've been doing a lot of that lately, breaking in them Italians and the 6. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sharp Practice it is. That's my favorite game. So I have no problem at all playing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably do not ACW, because I think Johnny and I were going to do ACW when he plays next. So we'll probably do like American War of Independence. I haven't done that for a while. So
yeah.
American War of Independence for Sharp Practice tomorrow, chosen by Ryan and Greg. So if you like Sharp Practice, thank those guys. If you don't,
thank those guys.
Whatever. Yeah, thank those guys anyway. So all right, guys. So I'm going to sign off now. So thanks, everyone. And we'll see you for the live stream tomorrow night for the game live stream. So regular Tabletop CP After Dark live stream. And then we'll look for one of these again sometime in the next month. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Good night.
All right. Good night.